Good morning, folks. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's strong, the stories are real, and the wrenches never stop turning. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you from the Car Connection workshop, where the smell of fresh oil, a little elbow grease, is all part of a balanced breakfast. Around here, we don't just talk cars, we live them. Whether it's a 25-year-old Jeep Wrangler getting a second chance at life, or a Nissan Rogue getting its brakes back in order, or perhaps even a mystery leak that's got everyone scratching their heads. This is where we roll up our sleeves and we get it done with a little wit, a little wisdom, and a whole lot of fun. The Car Connection isn't just about nuts, bolts, and diagnostics. It's about connection. Connection to our vehicles, to the people who drive them, and to the community that keeps us rolling. Because when you fix a car, you're not just turning a wrench. You're restoring someone's confidence, freedom, and maybe even their sanity. We're here every week, Monday through Saturday, for your Motormouth Morning Drive, 8 a.m., helping you keep your ride safe, reliable, and ready for whatever road lies ahead. So whether you're a weekend wrencher, a daily commuter, or someone who just wants to understand what that strange rattle really means. Welcome aboard. Stick around for shop talk, expert advice, few good laughs, and maybe a flashback and a story or two. Well, good morning. Good morning to you, and welcome aboard. If you're joining us for Motormouth's Morning Drive for the very first time, we've been waiting for you. We kept you a seat, and you have to buy the donuts if you're first time listener. Okay, well, maybe just this one time we'll let it slide. If you're just driving through the drive-through to get your favorite morning bevy, make sure you double check whatever your order is to make sure you're not heading out on the road with somebody else's. That's called lunchbox letdown. Yeah, and there's no time to go back and go through the line now. It's even longer. You know what I'm saying? Am I the only one that experiences this stuff? So lock your beverage down. We're going to have a swiggy in just a moment. And it's April Fool's Day. And, you know, I remember just one year I had my entire family convinced that I won the lottery. Big time. Like 70, I think we made up something like $74.75 million. And we got the entire households all over buzzing. And the phone at home was ringing off the stinking wall. All of a sudden, all those family members that didn't even really pay much attention to you were on the horn. Oh, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy good. And we kept them going until just a little before noon that time. So, hey, I hope you have some fun with April Fool's today. That was the only time we really pulled off a really good one. I'm not sure whether you could do it today or not, because most people probably wouldn't believe that. But anyways, I think, personally, April Fool's Day is almost every day now, like Groundhog's Day. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole this morning. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, let's jump in and start off our morning with a thank you to our program partners, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing, as we have switched over to full digital now with more ways to watch and listen and engage with us. And this is the lane that I've been carving out and have been carving out for over 40 years, is to be here as a 44-year automotive veteran. Can I say that? I guess I can. Yeah, I'm not as old as dirt, but maybe as old as a worm. But I'm still at it, and I really enjoy it. I mean, I think we all have those days, where it sucks from the minute your feet hit the floor to the minute your head hits the pillow at night. And then you're good for quite a while. So at least you get that out of the way. But for the most part, it's not too bad. The home to work thing is kind of crazy. But I'm here to help you save money on your automobile repairs, prevent you from being ripped off at the automotive shops, repair shops. And ladies, you are the prey, let me tell you, because in our own shop on the Hamilton Mountain for 11 years, 85% of our clients were the ladies. We'd like once in a while see a fellow, we'd be like, whose are you? Like, who do you belong to? Do you have a collar? We'd never see the fellas. And the only time we would, and then we fixed that for the ladies, was you get this phone call with this irate fella because his wife brought the car in and said, fix the damn thing. Just call me, let me know. I'll authorize it. Let's get this thing fixed. It's a piece of junk right now. And we'd fix it all up, and then the fella would blow the gasket and be all upset and whatnot with the little lady. Well, why did he do this? I think he ripped us off. So then that's when we got these toters and some thick plastic bags, and we put all the parts in the plastic bags, in the toter, in the back of the car for the lady to take home so that the fella could have a look at everything that she authorized for us to replace. We would tag and bag anything that needed a return with a core that had a core charge on it, a return charge. And if they didn't, then we billed them for it. But 99.9% of the time, we got the toters back, we got the bags back, and the parts, and we just scrap them out, send back what needed to go back. That helped our ladies because they were 85% of our business, and I didn't want them getting drilled down and, interrogated after they got home from the shop. So that took care of that. Anyways, I don't know why I went down that rabbit hole, but just the same. Thank you to Crystal Ridge Dream Center, serving men, women, children, meals, love, hope, and changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region, especially in these times. In times when community support is crucial, Crystal Ridge Dream Center shines as a beacon of compassion and transformation. They have all kinds of programs running for the individual, for the family, and for the community, and none of the programs cost you anything. They have an after-school program that's amazing for the kids, a single moms program designed just for you, and it's all at no cost. So they rely very heavily on us and local businesses to support them. They don't get any outside support. So my job for the last 31 years is to come alongside a nonprofit faith-based organization that's working to change lives in the Niagara region, in our own backyard, and serving people there. And Crystal Ridge Dream Center is that organization. So click on their logo on our homepage at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. That's where you'll find all of our program partners that make things possible for us right now. And number two, all the links for all the platforms we're involved with are on the top right-hand corner of our homepage. We call that the biggest tool drawer in our toolbox. So there's Facebook, Instagram, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. You'll find us there under the businesses tab. We have a profile page. They put us down as expert there. And you can also email me through that website as well. We have our online store, and thank you to those who are purchasing merchandise and joining our crew in the battle against addiction and helping those to get to a total freedom addiction campus where a new life waits for them. So the ones who have made that decision to take on their addiction and break free, that's who we're supporting. Just so you know, the proceeds go to Total Freedom Addiction Centers Canada and U.S. to help those who are ready to take that on and conquer their addiction. And they're good at it, very good at it. I think they're in their 25th year now, maybe more. And our YouTube channel is there. And now all our podcasts, we're in season 2. The first, I've populated 115 or 120 of our podcasts from here on iHeartRadio. We are located on all podcast platforms, so Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever you're pulling your podcasts from. Just type in the search bar Car Connection workshop. So I've populated everything over, or exported, I think is the technical term, exporting, and now they're exporting on their own. So each podcast every morning at 8 a.m. when I come off the air, it automatically, once it's loaded and scheduled, heads over to our YouTube channel. But here's the kicker. They don't go public. They're marked private. So each day, so I don't jam up our YouTube channel, the things you got to learn. I thought automotive was technical. Oh my gosh. Learning all this stuff is it's brain damaging. Yeah, sometimes I just stand still and I don't know why. It could be that the two brain cells, the two little gray men that are left, are short-circuiting or having a meeting. So now I have to go in each day and pick 10 podcasts in the season 1 and make them public. So if you go, I'm saying all that to say this: if you're heading into our YouTube channel, the first 10 have already been made public. So I'm starting at the new end of the podcast and working my way backwards. So be patient. It's one of those glitches with the RSS feed, which is my host for my podcast, and iHeartRadio, is we can't overpopulate the YouTube channel or the algorithms will blow a stinking gasket and lock down our YouTube channel. Can't allow that to happen. We've got a lot, Skippy and I have put a lot of work into this, and without your help, we can't get there. We want to be able to get fully monetized so that we can buy parts, provide the labor, shoot the videos, share that information with you to help you learn how to keep your vehicle long term. So if you're interested in keeping a quality vehicle long term, that's my job. I know how to do it. Whether it's 15, 20, 25 years old, as long as the foundation of that vehicle's solid, I can help you keep that thing going. And I'll tell you right now, I heard a service tech mention just yesterday that he thought that technology was better in the newer vehicles. Well, I might send him a message to his YouTube channel just saying, you might want to take that one to a survey to the rest of the techs that have a great channel that are dealing with a lot of this stuff out there that you're not dealing with on a regular basis. They have an opposite feeling to what you said, but each to his own, right? If that's what he thinks, we have to agree to disagree. But I disagree with him in quality cars versus affordable. Yeah, so the entry-level vehicles are just not standing up. And I am picking on the domestics. They're not standing up. The quality is not there. Older is better and reliable. I agree with Eric on that one. Absolutely 100%. So that's what I'm here for, is I have all the nuggets I can share with you through our YouTube channel. Every video will teach you 5 things: what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and how you could have made some changes in just having a better understanding of your automobile. It's that simple. We don't need to complicate it. You know, if you know where to put the key in the ignition and open and unlock the door, you're already learning basic fundamentals. And the basic fundamentals of vehicle ownership should fall on the heads of everyone. Everyone, right from the get-go. You know, they really need to step up and teach the younger generation how to take care of their automobiles, how to take care of the maintenance, the upkeep, and change the mindset right as they're young. That, you know what? Here's the deal. What would your mindset be if you came to realization that the vehicle that you presently have is the last one you'll ever be able to get? Yeah, I just read a headline, and I got to dive into it, that in the U.S., the politicians just passed a auto shutdown to be placed in automobiles. Do you understand what that means? Anybody? An auto shutdown device installed in our automobiles. Isn't that interesting? For why? For why? Why would we need an auto shutdown? Yeah, I'm very curious about that. Is it that if, Sally's been a bad girl, we're not going to allow her to use her car today? Oh, Billy's been a bad boy. Yeah, you're not going to be able to use your car today. We're shutting it down. So that's got my one eyebrow raised up, and I'm thinking, dang, we had better pull together, folks. We had better pull together. Yeah. So I'll do some further research and see. I'll actually check Sky News in Australia. That's where I tend to get the straight story. Yeah, they don't pull any punches there. So thank you to Earl and Louise Grant. If you or someone you know is in the market right now to buy a pre-owned automobile, there's only one place I would recommend to you, and that is the GTA's premier pre-owned auto store, Greater Toronto Area, City Auto Sales and Leasing, low mileage, top quality vehicles at fair prices. And I'll tell you, Earl and Louise, they're car guys, and they enjoy exactly what they do. Seeing people buy quality vehicles that have been well loved and taken care of. They look like new. Low mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. They have in-house leasing and financing. You don't need to go anywhere else. If it takes you 90 minutes to drive there one way to make the second largest purchase you're ever going to make, and know that you're buying from people that you can buy with, treated with honesty and integrity, and that you're buying a quality vehicle so you can purchase with confidence, that's worth, you can't even put a price tag on that. Honest to goodness, you can't. We used to do, with Earl and Louise, she would send me a picture and the write-up of a vehicle that they have in their inventory, and I'd look at these vehicles and go, they're outstanding. I mean, I don't think you can find a better one anywhere else. Honest to goodness. So, City Auto Sales and Leasing, they're on our website. Just click on their logo and open their profile page and connect. Let them know that we sent you. They do not sell any junk whatsoever. I can tell you that 100%. And if you're getting in over your head, I can tell you right now, Mama Louise is going to have a little conversation with you and try and convince you otherwise, to not go so deep in debt on an automobile. Maybe buy something for now to get you to where you want to go. You know, not your dream car, and then you're working hard to pay the interest and the payments, and you have no money left over to take care of it. So what happens? The vehicle goes backwards. Thank you to our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, 50 years experience. They're my brothers from other mothers. They are my personal financial planners and have been for over 20 years. And when I say this, book that hour and a coffee discovery meeting. Get it booked. Get your answers from those who have the fruit on the tree. Sit down with them for that hour and a coffee. Leave your wallet, leave your purse at home. They're not going to bill you for anything or sell you a single thing. They're going to listen to see where you're at, where you want to go, and work together to formulate a plan to get you there. They take care of investment portfolios, debt retirement, estate planning, mortgages, life insurance, critical life insurance as well, critical illness, and there are a lot of services available to you through certified financial planner professionals Tony Miele and Larry Tetro. So connect today and get those things looked after, and just set your pride over. Just pull it over and park it and set for the handbrake. Leave it there. We have not because we ask not. These guys don't need any more clients. I'm telling you that right now, straight up. That's from them. I'm not the message. I'm the messenger. They want to be a part of helping people move forward. So if that's where you are, you're stuck, and you have questions, everyone around you will give you all the answers to all your life's problems, but their life is messed up. Anybody recognize that? Yeah, okay, good. And let's move on. Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Thank you to the Grimo family for making this program available to you this morning. Building Canada since 1931. They've been there a long time, folks. They have all the building supplies you could ever want, and they also have an amazing lineup of hardscape landscaping materials and a list of contractors they can refer you to if you wish to get the job started, get it estimated, and get it done so that you can enjoy that very special space at your home that you've always wanted. And thank you to the whole team at Total Freedom Addiction Campuses in Darien Center, New York, and Sydney, Manitoba, for what they're doing to help those who've made the decision to beat their addiction and move forward in life. It is such a cool thing that they're doing there. It's amazing to see lives change. If you click on I challenge you to click on the link below their logo and make your way to the Total Freedom Darien Center, New York personal website and take a look at the people there that are in the program. And it's not a program. It is an entire life change, and we all can be a part of that. So thank you again to those who are purchasing Car Connection Motormouth merch in our online store. Proceeds go to Total Freedom Addiction Campuses, Canada and USA, to help those who have made that decision, maybe today, to beat their addiction. Well, weather report. Let's kick into gear with that. Here's what we got today. I'm telling you, it's a brand new month, and you know what they say about April. We had a ton of rain here on the south shores of Fort Erie yesterday. The water was halfway up the Car Connection driveway, it's a good thing I moved the Nissan Rogue, because I would have needed to put my wellies on to get to it, and I'm not kidding. Today looks like we've got a high of 50 degrees, an overnight low of 38. Let's take a deeper dive into what we could expect today. 0.45 of an inch of rain is expected. It was just starting to drizzle at like 4:30, 4:45 this morning when it's curb day here. Get it to the coin. 43 degrees now and cloudy. Wind is making it feel colder, about 36 degrees. Cloudy conditions will continue all day. Today's temperature range from 38 to 50 degrees. Feels like 29 to 48. But there is hope. Yeah, I'm looking at the long-range forecast and going, are we going to dry out, do you think, before the end of July? Well, we've got some sunshine coming up next Wednesday, if that's of any relief to you. Possibly Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. Man, I would think there'd not be any rain in those clouds left to give after yesterday. My goodness, it was brutal here. It was, these microbursts was one after another, and thunderstorms all day yesterday. One after another. The lightning was pretty exciting too, I'd say. If you could only bottle that, that'd probably put your hydrometer into a convulsion. Absolutely. Well, let's have a swiggy together. That was a long breath swiggy, but just the same, it's April 1st. And we got to kick this month into high gear. So remember, it's Fun Friday, so that's where we just throw around some topics and talk about them here in the Motormouth Morning Drive. And Saturday is a 1-hour Q&A. So get your questions in. They're coming in now, so I select 3 questions that would pretty much fill the hour. I can't get to all the questions, and I apologize for that, but get your questions in. Email them to me, niall@ccbusnet.com or motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com, and pay attention to the description boxes on our YouTube channel and on our podcast, because that's where I plant a whole lot of extra gold nuggets for you. So get some picks and shovels, because that's where I put some things in there that will help you to get a better understanding of your automobile. And that's where you get all our contact information as well. I always put it in the description box somewhere near the bottom so that you can find it quickly and get your questions in. So I answer them on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m., 8 till 9, Q&A with Motormouth on Saturday mornings. Well, let's have our swiggy. I'm sure mine is stone cold by now. I'm rattling a bit today, and I'll tell you why. I got to go to the dental chair again. I know. And I'm not looking forward to it at all. I have not had a very good time of dental this year. And it kind of started on the very last week of 2025, having to go to dental surgery, to a surgeon. And then now I'm heading back to the chair today to have 3 teeth fixed. Yeah, please pray for me, okay? I'm a white knuckle patient. I admit it. I'm not a chicken, but, I've had some really bad experiences. Share your experience with me, and I'll check it out and see whose is better. Exactly. So on 3, 2, 1, whatever your morning beverage is, let's enjoy a swiggy together and get April kicked off with a bang, all right? 3, 2, 1. Yep, correct. It's kind of warm, like, warm bath water. It just might be, too. It's almost the same color once I get out. It is still good. So remember, everything we talk about lives on our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. It's the biggest drawer in our toolbox. Topic for this morning. I have to really pick my brain on this one. And there's only 2 little gray men left. One that remembers my name and the other one how to get back home, which is pretty good. That's not bad. That's a good average. Don't be fooled. Fitting, isn't it? Don't be fooled. And where am I going with that? Well, I think we talked about it quite a bit. Prosumer versus consumer. Is you got to go from listening to the white noise to listening to the signal. That's why when I mentioned Sky News, that's where if I want to know what's really going on in the world, they're pretty decent at not holding any punches. The truth comes out. Because they're not paid they're not using our tax dollars to fund them. So they're actually reporting real news. So that's where I grab some of the news from. And again, when it's news, you got to spin on a filter, just like anything else on, the community platforms, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're getting stuff from. You got to spin on a filter. And you got to sift through the junk and the misery. That's what I call it. Or is it commiserate? I don't know. Anyways, let's not spin down that driveway. So you've got to be able to determine, to put it in layman's terms, what are the lies, who's spewing the lies, and then look for the truth. And that's why I'm here for you. I'm not here to sell you anything. I don't need to be here, but I want to be here, and I've been in this seat in front of the microphone for 44 years. Well, not quite. 32. We started our Car Connection live call-in automotive program in early 1996. And we had our shop on the Hamilton Mountain going. I think we were going about 5 years at that point. Our first 5 years. We started at the worst time ever, and my business mentor said, if you can survive this, come out the other side, you can survive anything. It was hard times, man, back in the early 90s, like 89, 90, 91. Oh, yeah. Tighter than a duck's butt, let me tell you. It was a tough go. I was paying $38.50 a month just for my lease. That didn't include No frills. That's just unlock the door and the ability to step inside. $3,850 we had to make before we even made $1 for ourselves. And then again, there's WSIB, there's business insurance, there's heating. In the winter, it'd be $1,000 a month to keep the big gas iron giant, keep the shop at like 58 to 65 degrees. You know, and the list goes on and on and on. Before you even get 5 cents in your pocket, you're wrenching for rent, basically. That's what I used to call it, wrenching for rent. And it was not good. So you have to be able to determine which category you're going to be in. Because I'll tell you what, you know, I grew up working on a dairy, beef, and chicken farm, laying hens. And I picked a lot of eggs, let me tell you. I learned a lot of really good stuff. You have to be able to sift through that. And I'll tell you, I'm glad that cows don't fly in this world today. Because we would certainly have a problem. Don't you think? You really got to get sharp. And when I say the mice have to get sharper than the cat, I really mean that. I really do. Everybody, you know, constantly I'm smelling what they're selling. And I've been doing some research on these EVs, and I'm telling you what. When I put that program out, I'll be surprised I don't get some hate mail. And that's not the purpose of it. The purpose of when I do the EV, electric vehicle review, I'm not actually reviewing the car. I could care less. You know, you gotta do your homework and make sure you're not getting sucked into something that's just a stupid trend. I'm looking at the other aspects. And what I'm uncovering, and I have all the information, and it is accurate. And what I'm discovering that nobody's saying, that's called the white noise. They're not saying a word about what's really going on to produce those EVs. Yeah, they're all saying the same things, but behind the scenes, oh, buddy, it's disgusting what I have uncovered. Disgusting. And it's not supposed to be happening. So who's turning a blind eye to it and bending the rules? Yeah, wait till you hear this one. I was shocked and awed, but not surprised. Not surprised. Yeah. So we will unload that. I'm almost there. I have quite a few pages of notes and links so that you can go and check it for yourself, because it's real. It's as real as the nose on your face. The things that they're hiding from all of us about the real deal about these EVs. The real deal. And there's many reasons now, there's many reasons for me never to touch one. Period. I don't want anything to do with them whatsoever. For the things that are going on behind the scenes, once you know the behind the curtain story, I would not be ethical for me to do that. Would not be ethical for me to fix one, touch one, work with one, or even own one, based on the information that I've uncovered. And it's been there for quite a while. They've been hiding it. And they're doing a good job at hiding it, let me tell you. But I found it, and then I found another link, and then I found another link, and I've been doing a lot of reading. So that's coming up. And as once we get the temperatures to stabilize, we will pull off the 30-day fuel-saving tips. I don't know about you, but the fuel prices, you know what? That's, again, more white noise. More white noise. Yeah. The fuel price is going up. A fella said it to me last week when I was filling up my car, and I didn't want to get into the discussion with him because I knew right away where he was getting his information from. White noise. Solid. They give themselves away. They're just regurgitating the the white noise, the lies that they're listening to. So, as my professor would say, a man convinced against his will is of his own opinion still. And I don't need the drama. And I don't want the drama. But he made a comment. He heard me say something. And I think I said something like, yeah, that guy's got to go. I think that's what I said. $1.93. I run premium all the time. I don't want any ethanol. If I can 100% avoid it, I do. I absolutely do. Ethanol is not good in our automobiles. Good for the farmers growing the crops, cash crops, and that's all it was designed for. It does not work. It's ruining stuff because it's acidic. We'll cover that in another one. We'll talk about fuels. We'll get into that and unpack that. But I thought, what a perfect day to talk about being fooled. That's where I'm going. That's why I spoke about the EVs. Yeah, it's a April Fool Day every stinking day. And if you haven't, it's so important to do your own homework. And in my trade, let me tell you, when you're building engines, dealing with gear ratios, pulling a transmission apart, and there's thousands of parts in there, you don't need to take bad advice from someone who thinks they know enough to be dangerous. And we all know those people because they're usually one or two in our circle where, they're nice, they mean well, but they know just enough to be dangerous, to take you down the wrong path to Loserville. And it's not good. Not good. You've got to make sure who you're talking with, who you're getting your answers from. Are they qualified to give you the right answers? Yes or no? It's not a maybe. It's a yes or no. So that's where I came up with the title, April Fools, Don't Be Fooled. We need to be prosumers, not consumers. And it is really easy right now to get conned. And I'll tell you, I've been watching and listening and watching and listening for quite a while. And I'll tell you, I am really shocked at how easy people are fooled. Truly. And it comes down to not doing your own homework, not doing your own research, just regurgitating the word salad and the junk that they're spewing out there. Because huge cover-up on how bad vehicles are right now. On the domestics, the engines are falling apart. That's why there's no way I could possibly agree with this other gentleman that technology's better today. It's not. It's not better. It's gotten worse. Where the price of the vehicles, price of goods sold is not reflected in the quality of the product. It's not. It's not there. That's why when that tech said in his video on his YouTube channel, older is better and more reliable, he was spot on. That's why I drive the older ones. I've been watching this for a while. They're really cheaping out. Now the engines are falling apart. That's pretty expensive. If you got to pick up a ticket for that and it's not covered by warranty, yeah, you're going to remember that one for a long time, especially when you're still making payments on it. So we've got to work together to get the knowledge. And, it has been said many times, knowledge is power. It absolutely is when it comes to the automobile. You've got to get a grip on not owning and living in the unknown. You've got to move your mindset to the known. Because the unknown is creating a lot of stress for you. And I'm concerned about that. Because if all you do is just hop in and you go, how do you know, as we talked about yesterday, in this van I've got in the shop, how do you know there isn't the same problem there? You got worn components that they're about ready to break and give you a really bad experience on the roadways, and your car's going to get seriously damaged. Just because it stops and steers today doesn't mean everything's 100%. And I can tell you that right now. If I went through the Big W store parking lot and I put a big green dot on the windshield, randomly picking vehicles to inspect, I can tell you if I pick 10, solid 7 out of the 10 of those vehicles will have problems that the drivers, owners were not even aware of was happening. That's how bad it is. Another tech made a comment last week, and I shared it on the Q&A session. Hardly anyone pre-trips or at least regularly checks their vehicles. Pre-trip, checking the vehicle over before you hit the highway on a major road trip. You're not doing it. Then you get yourself into trouble. But if you're here and you're listening, then I congratulate you big time because you're ahead of the other guy, way ahead. If you've got a vehicle that's bought and paid for, you're way ahead of many today. As long as the foundation is solid, it's not rotted out, and the structure's solid, you've got yourself a goodie. And treat it like that. Treat your vehicle like it's the last one you can have. Again, that's rattling in my head. The shut off, the auto shut off. That has got me deeply concerned. That's your freedom, folks. That's your freedom. We don't have to think back too far, especially in our country, in Canada, shutting it down bank accounts. I think they really enjoyed it, having the control. The power goes to their heads like strong drink. It's absolutely true. Having a shutdown on our automobiles, yeah, guess what? That older vehicle you have will not get an auto shutdown. You see where I'm going with this? The mice have to get smarter than the cat. And trust me, they might try it again to have our older vehicles removed from us because of the carbon footprint, which is, don't get me started on that one, because I'll tell you what, I'll take their lunch money and their milk money. It's a load of lies. It's a whole pack of lies. Big time. Just ask a farmer about carbon, how important it is to growing crops. They'll tell you, they'll educate you. And if you want to educate yourself on that one and do your own homework, go back to grade 5. Go back to grade 5 and take a day in your time and study photosynthesis. I think I was like 18 when I was in grade 5. Or maybe not. Yeah, doing your own homework. Do you know in 1929 they were screaming about global warming? Do you know that? In 1929, 1934, 1937, they were screaming in the newspapers, the headlines in the newspapers back then, and you can fact check me, go ahead. They were screaming out global warming. Interesting, huh? That's why today is a very interesting day. April Fool's Day. Is it really only one day a year? Really? Not in my world. Not in my world. My mind goes 100 miles an hour and I live in the future. I don't live in the present. I'm always looking way down the road. And that's the way we have to stop living in a box with a fox. Yeah, we got to start getting outside the box and shut off the white noise and start doing your homework. And when you hear these things, don't get into discussions with people and get into a great big verbal attack. Do your homework. Put it on your desk. Do your own homework. And you won't be, as the song says, and you won't be fooled again. Exactly. Because when you have knowledge, they're afraid of us. If we have knowledge, they're afraid of us. That the mice will get smarter than the cat. And the automotive industry is has been undergoing some mega changes. So that older automobile, I can help you keep that going for 300,000, 400,000, 600,000 miles. Forget the kilometer thing. Metric system is the tool of the devil, period. .com, .org, .ca, .net, period. 600,000 miles. Would that put some money back in your pocket? It sure would. It does for me. I'm not getting into the payment plans anymore. I'm done. I am really, really done with that. Even if money were no object, I'm quite content with what we're working with. You know, the maintenance is all caught up. They're running well. They're performing well. They're holding together, getting the rust proofing done every year. Or at the latest, some of them I push it, if it's still quite gooey, I push it till like 18 months and then get a blast to keep that foundation solid. But really training yourself to change your mindset on a new automobile versus a pre-owned, an older vehicle. The older ones are hanging in there. This newer stuff has lots of problems. Like I don't need to browbeat the domestics. They know they got problems. There's class action suits going on right now behind the scenes. It's crazy. Engines blowing up at 700 miles. 900 miles, they're on their second motor. And the quality is good. Yeah, do a consensus out there with the shops, especially in the U.S. They have a lot bigger repair shops than we do here in Canada. They can have a shop over there can have 22 service bays. Well, they're a bigger crowd than us, right? Just it's population, that's all. Population. We're a thimble full of people compared to the United States of America. That's it, period. They're huge. So their service bays mean they have a lot more cars on the road than we do. Makes sense, right? And they don't have enough service techs, so they're in deep water. But Canada's not too far behind. The kids aren't getting into the trades. So keeping that older vehicle is money in your pocket. But you've got to have the plan. How long would your car last if you actually followed a proper maintenance plan? How long would it last? That's a question for you. Without a plan, something to follow, a roadmap, how are you going to get there? How are you going to keep it? You can't be running a car and waiting for something to break. You got to be ahead of that curve. That's the secret. And that's how I developed the Car Connection fleet maintenance system. Was I initially developed that so that I didn't forget to check anything when I was working on fleet vehicles every single day in the shop where I was located. And that was our meat and potatoes, was getting the contract for those fleet service maintenance. But our job was making sure we did not miss something and send the vehicle back and something happens and it suffers downtime. That would not go over well. So that's how I developed a checklist, and now I've refined it and defined it to work on every person's vehicle, no matter what you have. And whether you know a little about cars or nothing at all, as long as you can make a grocery list and check the items off as you put them in your basket, that's as difficult as it gets. So we have a web page, a profile page put together, but they're my webmaster's beating me in the head and saying, you got to send us a picture of the product so we can lay that out on the page, and then we'll put it live. Okay. All right. So they're waiting on me to do that, and then you'll be able to see what you get for your money, and it's a great investment. It's not $1 million or anything whatsoever, less than an oil change. And you only need to buy it one time, and now you're all set. You're all set to go. You'll have your very own maintenance schedule that you can easily follow along with, no matter how old you are, single, married, widowed, divorced, whatever your circumstance is. You'll be able to walk yourself through maintaining that vehicle to the nines and keeping it for a very, very long time. I could teach you how to put more miles and more money back in your pocket. And that's a huge cha-ching. Absolutely. Whatever we can do to save money right now, and the biggest savings is if that vehicle that's in your driveway right now is bought and paid for, and that it's an older one, because that's going to last longer than the stuff coming out right now with the domestics. I'm not picking on the imports whatsoever. They've been, here's the thing. For them to get sales, they have to put out a far better product. That's how it works. I learned a lot when I closed my shop for health reasons, and I took a job with a major European manufacturer. I learned a lot about that. And what I learned from my rep was, he said, we have to go beyond the all measures just to get some market share away from the domestics. And that conversation happened about 27 years ago. And I said, what do you mean, Mike? And I said, I have never seen a car manufacturer ever give away what we call W5. W5 meant goodwill warranty. You're out of warranty, and the manufacturer's stepping up to the plate and says, we'll take care of that. I said, how can they do that? And he looked at me and he said, because we're the foreigners on your soil, and we have to prove ourselves all the time. He said, we can't put out a bad product. We can't treat people badly. We're looking to gain some market share and sell our vehicles on your soil. We have to be better in order to do it. So it costs our company to do it, but we're willing to do it to gain some market share away from the domestics. Now imagine if the shoe were on the other foot. There'd be some scrambling, let me tell you. There would be some scrambling if the domestics had to give you W5 warranty, goodwill warranty. You're out of warranty, but they're going to pick up the tab. Yeah, right. Yeah, give your head a shake. That's never going to happen. Absolutely not. Because they're on their own soil. And as my rep said, Mike, he says, whoever's not selling a domestic, we have different rules for us to get market share. So I'm not going to ramble on any longer, but I'll put you out of your misery. Don't be fooled. I'm in your corner. I'm here and available to you now with more ways to watch, listen, and engage. Sign up for our YouTube channel. Learn as much as you can from our videos. That's the whole purpose. I don't get into building muscle cars, monster trucks, and all that stuff. We do a rebuilder, and my idea about that is giving away a muscle car every year once we get monetized, so that we can put money into local organizations like Crystal Ridge Dream Center and Total Freedom addiction campuses. Put the money where it counts in our own backyard, helping those in our own backyard first. So that's the whole idea there. But all the videos that I'm showing you is basic maintenance on automobiles, common problems that come in the door all the time, and how you can avoid that, breaking it down for you. I just did a whole series of videos this week. I think it's 6 or 7 parts, so that I don't take up too much of your time, showing you pulling the whole front end out on a vehicle, and then walking you through what each component does and why it's failed and how it failed. So we walk through the 5 things on every video: what it is, where it is, how it works, and how it broke, and how you could learn some things that would save you a ton of money, putting some money back in your pocket. So if that's of interest to you, you're on the right channel. Share us, follow us, like us, ring the bell, put your comments below for our videos. That all helps. And don't forget to subscribe. So many of you are enjoying the videos, but you're not subscribed. That doesn't help us, okay? Just so you know, it does not help us. Every one of those little things I just talked about, if you do those for Skippy and I, it would help us a great deal to get to where we need to be in order to help more and more people. So till tomorrow, drive safe, adjust your driving habits to road conditions, keep it under 100, peace, patience, and kindness, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.